scientists managed to hook up my mother's eggs and my father's sperm to create a specific combination of precious genetic material. In fact, when my brother Jesse told me how babies were made, I, the great disbeliever, decided to ask my parents the truth. I got more than I bargained for. They told me all of the normal things, of course, but then they mentioned that the little embryonic me was chosen specifically to save my sister Kate. This is a quote from My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. The creation of genetically designed in vitro children to save the life of an older sick child that is terminally ill or dying is also known as creating a savior sibling. It has been a topic of impassioned ethical debates across the nation and across the world. Today I will be covering is this ethical to create a child just to save another? What are the physical and emotional effects on both children and the parents? And should there be laws to regulate when it is okay to create a savior sibling? Ethicality is your decision of what is right and wrong. It's pretty much like your conscience. How would you feel about creating a child to save your older child? In one situation, it may be your last chance. Your older child may die, but is it right to put somebody through many countless procedures just to torture them, and then them also feel like they're not actually wanted for themselves, they're just wanted to save the other child? Maura Dickey tells the story of the first ever savior child, Adam Nash, who was born in 2000 and only had to give one donation to his older sister. He only had to give his placenta and his umbilical cord blood just for a transplant for her, and she was cured. Sometimes this is the situation. You only have to donate once at birth. It is not painful, and you don't even know that it happened. However, many other children have to go through countless painful procedures, even maybe through their whole life. The main ethical debate is the possibility of exploitation of the savior sibling and the possibility of adverse psychological effects as far as their confidence goes. The parents have to ultimately make this decision. Many of them think that this is their last chance, that their baby could die, and that is their child, and they do not want to lose a child. They also think of it as a new life in their family that they can love not only because they are their child, but because they helped to save their older sibling. The savior sibling has feelings of its own once it becomes older. They may be grateful for such a meaningful life, but they also may be resentful of their parents for making them go through all these procedures. The older sibling also has feelings about the situation. Many older recipients may not feel like they deserve it, or they may not have wanted it. You might have been so tired of suffering that they just wanted to die, but their parents are going to continue to put them through more. However, they may be extremely grateful for the bond that they have with their sibling and the fact that their life was saved. There are no laws currently in the United States about whether it is legal to create a savior sibling. However, in the UK in 1990, there was an act passed about in vitro fertilization in general. It did not cover the fact that people are creating them to save other children. So they revised it in 2006 to make it acceptable to create a child to save a child that is terminally ill or dying. Effects of birth of the savior sibling have caused many questions about ethicality. It just depends on your attitude about it and how the family goes about discussing it as a whole. No one knows the difficulty quite like these families, and no one should have to. As IVFs become more common, the debate will also increase. Some type of regulation may be needed in the future in the United States. I close with a quote from Viktor E. Frankl. The meaning of life is to give life meaning.
What kind of disease would a Savior child be needed for?
Cancer patients, a lot of leukemia patients need bone marrow. So they give bone marrow and blood transfusions a lot. And then there's like a certain type of anemia where your blood is just not strong enough and you need lots of blood transfusions from a match. And they're specifically designed with the same matching cell proteins so that they can give their child that.
Are there age limits for when Savior something like
No, because like I said, the one child, they just took his placenta at birth and they donated it. So that child doesn't really get a say. But I'm sure once they get older, once they turn 16 or maybe 18, they can probably have a say in their own medical donations. Yeah.
Has it ever not worked?
I'm sure that there have been cases where it was just too late, and no matter how hard they tried, they probably couldn't get it back. But at least they had that other child to love.
Have there been cases where they're used for organ like a kidney donation?
Yeah, like
Okay.
I don't know the name, but I read a story of a girl who, because her disease had gotten so far, she had lost a kidney, and they thought she was going to lose the other one. So once the Savior sibling was old enough, they donated it because it has to be so big by the time that they can get it.
Do you think there should be regulatory laws?
I think that there should be like some type of regulation as far as like the disease, the evolution of the disease, how far along is this disease? Because to create a child as soon as you find out your other child has leukemia would be crazy, because like you don't know if they're gonna need that. And so to create a child just for that and then them not be used for that, they may feel useless, or it could cause so many problems in their life.
I've never heard about this before this. How did you know about it?
There is a movie, it's pretty famous, it was on like the top sellers in like 2000, but it's called My Sister's Keeper, which is the quote that I read at the beginning. And it's about a girl who was born with leukemia, and her sister had to go through countless procedures her whole childhood. And when she got old enough, she started fighting back, and she said she did not want to do it anymore.
All right, jump.